Is Hogwarts not impressive? I mean, to us it sounds impressive. Or is that like, why are these guys so far?
Everyone reads that as Harry's voice. But it reads, another voice had awoken.
So, Andrew, I don't know if you or your kids are into Toy Story. Are you guys?
No, I was back, when it came out, it was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Loved the first one. Fairly confident I loved the second one. Can't remember if I saw the third one. I know I didn't see the fourth one.
Oh, so you just slowly fell off.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went and saw number 5 today. So my son's been a Toy Story fan ever since he's been born.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think I told the story how he got his pacemaker in and we lost that Woody that he had. I seen a picture of him as a baby. I was like, oh my God, there it is in the background. I did not know he had it that long. So I've since replaced it, but
Sure.
yeah, we went and saw the 5th one. It is with the theme, because as we go through the Toy Story, the theme kind of changes. The overall theme stays the same, but the plot, or maybe the plot stays the same and the overall theme changes, something like that. But
Well, yes. It's so from what I know about story, the first movie was about Woody being forgotten because of Buzz.
yeah.
And then as they get older, the level of forgetfulness, abandonment, it's always kind of that driver.
It was pretty good. Noah has this thing where, like, if it doesn't matter what he's watching, if it gets really dramatic, or if it's one of those where it's like bad, but it resolves in the end.
Sure.
He's like, "Can we go? Can we go home? I don't like this."
Not feeling this.
But then by the end, he was happy. But they have this
Yeah.
weird animation thing, so I'm not sure if you remember. So when Andy or whoever's playing with the toys, it shows like, real life action playing with the toys, imagination, or it might do a cut scene where they
Sure.
animated all the toys and they're doing this thing. They did some really weird looking animation with like completely different than what it was, completely different graphics and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody in the crowd complaining about it, but I was like, they've never done this before, and I'm not sure if I like it. Like, it's something
okay, so here's the
noticeably different.
Here's the
Noticeably
question.
different.
If you take it out of Toy Story, right? If it wasn't in Toy Story and you just saw that animation, would you like that animation? Or did you just, because you're like, oh, I didn't like it because it's not how Toy Story is animated?
The animation even made the characters look different. So, yeah, I don't like it when they go and do things like why did you make them look different?
Sure.
But maybe, I don't know, if you put that kind of animation in the beginning, like put it in Toy Story number 1, I wouldn't think it would do as good as it has been over the years.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, Pixar in and of itself was revolutionary.
Pixar is amazing. I love
as
Pixar.
far as animation.
Monsters Inc. I'm pretty sure Up is them too. Oh
yeah.
no, that's great.
Yeah, so one of my favorite books is Steve Jobs, the biography of Steve Jobs, and it goes into the history of Apple. It goes into the history of him being kicked out of Apple. It goes into the history of him starting another computer company. And George Lucas, right? A lot of people don't know George Lucas owned Pixar. Pixar was technology. George Lucas created and had that department for Star Wars graphics and all of that stuff. And so he was going through a divorce. Steve Jobs bought Pixar to put that technology in his new computer company.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And kept the animation part of it going, even as the computer part wasn't doing well.
Yeah,
So
I watched a little documentary thing, and they said they got Pixar from the computer model. 'Cause it was called something similar to Pixar, and they called it, so they called it Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the ultimate question before we get into the episode, do you recommend people go see Toy Story 5?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely. It was good. It was overall good. Just those
Yeah.
little cutscenes of them. I'm like, whoa. It's like we went into a different universe, and I was like,
Okay.
it could just be me. Side note: I think Tim's in his 70s, Tim Allen, and I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with watching him age.
Oh, watching their interviews about going back in, and here's what blows my mind.
He looks great. They both
Oh,
look great.
yeah. Here's what blows my mind. In all of the Toy Stories, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks have never been in the same room at the same time doing their voiceovers.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
And they hate it. They're like, we want to be in the room with each other, feeding off each other, but it just doesn't. It's not how they do it.
It definitely makes sense. Did you hear how they came up with the overall idea for Toy Story? They were going to pitch it, and they're like, we need something. We need something. They said they were in the elevator. They said, what did they say? Buzz Lightyear. I don't know. Maybe that was something else. No. Okay, that was another podcast I was listening to.
Yeah, no. The original Toy Story, the very first Toy Story.
Woody was a jerk, and they didn't like it.
Woody was a jerk, and Steve Jobs hated that. So the head, I can't remember.
And they didn't know what they were doing. Could you imagine animation on those old school computers? How long that would take?
What was the guy's name? He was the producer, direct of so many. I can't remember his name, and I feel terrible.
Yeah.
But he would create animated shorts and send them for nominations for awards and all that stuff. So Pixar won an award for a short film called Toy Soldier. I believe it was called Toy Soldier. And it was where this baby was crying and throwing toys and all of this stuff. And there was a toy soldier under the couch. And under the couch were all of these other toys that were hiding from this toddler, from this baby, because it was crying.
Weren't they
and throwing...
all toys that you would actually be playing with?
I can't remember. I think they were just, kind of normal toys.
Yeah.
And so the toy soldier sees that all of the toys are hiding, and he sees how sad the baby is, and the toy soldier walks out and, plays with the baby, and the baby is happy. And that won an award. That's awesome. Once it won an award, Steve Jobs was like, this is the future of animation.
Now, Pixar it's great. It's a whole nother world.
Now I've got to know. I'm so upset.
But I thought it fitting to kind of talk about this before we jump into this episode, because it's all in the world of imagination. So
John Lasseter, thank you so much.
There we go.
John Lasseter, he was the one, and there would be no Toy Story, no Pixar without Steve Jobs and John Lasseter. So it's pretty cool.
What do they say? It's been around for like 30 years. Jeez.
That actually hurt my feelings. You saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Since the late 1900s.
Yes. If you were born in the 1990s, here's you're old.
So, yeah. Oh, so when did Toy Story come out? Let's take a look. Let's make it relevant.
I'm gonna guess 93, but they said 30 years, so probably 97.
Let's go. Okay, so November 22nd, 1995. Okay. Which this chapter is in October of 1995.
All right, awesome.
Or no. Maybe we're in 1990. No, we're in 1994. We're October 1994 in this chapter.
All right. Well,
so in Harry's 5th year, Toy Story comes out.
Well, speaking of being old, welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles, to Squib's Corner. I am Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and we are in some really good chapters of a really good book. Like we just have nonstop chapters. So today we're jumping into chapter 15, Beaubaton, however you would like to pronounce it, and Durmstrang of Book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Before we go forward, we love to go backwards. We went to chapter 14, The Unforgivable Curses.
So if you guys haven't listened to that chapter, please go back and listen to it. Because we're getting compliments on that chapter.
Yeah. I'll say it was one of my favorite episodes that we've done. And it was also one of our I think our
longest.
longest.
Yeah,
It was our longest episode. You might need to break it up in parts, but it was. We had a guest
I
on
full
there.
sent it.
Kelly loves green beans on there, and it's just
the importance of that chapter, and then having that specific guest on during that chapter. Oh, I think we unpackaged almost everything, even some stuff I didn't know in that chapter. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen. It's a great chapter.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of briefly go over it. Obviously, Professor Mad-Eye Moody is now teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts in Hogwarts, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they go and they're learning about the unforgivable curses in this particular chapter, which are the Imperius Curse, where you can literally control somebody's actions, Crucio, which is the torture curse, which, puts people in unbelievable amounts of pain, and then you've got the killing curse of Avada Kedavra. And he isn't necessarily supposed to. The Ministry wouldn't like him to teach these, but he and Dumbledore are like, look, we got to teach these. Something's coming. You need to know. And so he uses spiders as his test subjects, which makes it very real for those that are there in the class.
I wonder if he would have used a Bogart. Do you think that would have worked?
Well, so let's go ahead and get...
spiders are simple enough, but I didn't think about it.
Okay, so let's think about this for fun, because this is what we do on this podcast. If Barty Crouch Jr., who is impersonating Mad-Eye Moody, stood in front of a Bogart, what would it turn into?
Okay, that's true.
Right? Like, what would it turn into? Somehow him being found out, Voldemort dead, right? Like, there's so many things. I think him even putting himself in front of a Bogart.
If you think about it like that, him using the spiders sounds even better. I mean, it's already great, but even that's you're like, oh wow. Yeah. So we can get even deeper with that chapter now. Yeah, go back and re-record
it. For our 3 hour episode of a chapter we've already done 2 hours on. So at the end of that chapter, if you remember earlier in the book, Harry has a nightmare. Voldemort's there, murders talk, and then his scar hurts. He writes a letter to Sirius. Hasn't heard back from Sirius. Finally gets a letter back. And Sirius is like, I'm coming back. Like, I'm going to come back. This is all getting a little too serious. And that's kind of how the chapter ends. So now that we're on Beaubatons and Durmstrang, we've already learned in the book that there's going to be a Triwizard Tournament. And what chapter did we learn about that? Oh, the chapter Triwizard Tournament. So we learned about the Triwizard Tournament. We know that these two, not necessarily rival schools, but they've done this tournament for centuries. To promote relations between the European schools.
Wait, there's other schools?
Yeah.
I just assumed we were the only one.
So, Beaubatons and Durmstrang, we knew that they were going to come to Hogwarts. We just didn't know when nor how, and we learned those in this chapter. So, let's jump into our 7-word summaries.
Andrew, so this chapter was also a little bit all over the place. So, man,
you want to hear my 7-word chapter?
You could go anywhere with this.
This chapter is all over the place. That is literally my 7-word summary. This chapter is all over the place.
That's great.
Jeez, that's so funny. Have we been doing this together too long? Is that what that is that what that means? Like, we should probably switch it up somehow.
I just picked one theme for the chapter.
Okay.
Harry learned to resist the Imperius Curse, which, as you pointed out, it's amazing and also very stupid. Stupid being the person that's teaching him how to resist. But it is a rather amazing
theory.
feat.
Anytime I do this with my fingers, that means a theory is a brewing.
That's your sign. So when I see you doing this, instead of going, what's he doing? I just stop talking.
Like, Andrew, are you okay? Are you having a fit?
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into our 7-chapter notables, which this chapter was super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
Well,
So
I mean, it's just all over the place.
there's so much. There's so much. So number one, not just teaching the Imperius Curse. Number two, Harry's resistance, right? Like you mentioned. 3, wizarding school is getting serious. No pun intended. Number 4, the announcement. Number 5, have you been to the kitchen? Number 6, what's that in the sky? Number 7, what's that in the water? Wait, who is that? That's the best I could do.
Yeah,
Like, that's the best I could do.
is it the next chapter where they do all their introductions and everything, and they start showing off once they get together?
Yes.
I don't like how Hogwarts chooses to show off. I think it's ridiculous and makes them look stupid, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
Dumbledore does not care. Dumbledore does not
They're
care.
doing all these amazing things. Hey, you know what we should do? Let's sing a song we've
sing a
never heard
song?
before.
That
And then we're
there's
going to
no-
call our Hogwarts theme that we only hear
Yeah.
the one time.
Yeah, there's no tune to it, so you can sing it however you please.
This is terrible.
All right, so the first paragraph of chapter 15, Beaubatons and Durmstrang. Early next morning, Harry woke with a plan fully formed in his mind, as though his sleeping brain had been working on it all night. He got up, dressed in the pale dawn light, left the dormitory without waking Ron, and went back down to the deserted common room. Here he took a piece of parchment from the table upon which his divination homework still lay, and wrote the following letter. Dear Sirius, I reckon I just imagined my scar hurting. I was half asleep when I wrote that to you last time. There's no point coming back. Everything's fine here. Don't worry about me. My head feels completely normal. Harry.
That's something that I would have wrote the whole time going, wow, this sounds stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, he's in full regret mode. If his letter were the reason that Sirius comes back to be closer to Hogwarts, closer to the Dementors, and closer to the Ministry of Magic, for that matter, and then gets caught,
Oh. Oh.
all because Harry had a dream about something, woke up, decided to write a letter, and
Yeah.
picked Sirius.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sound a little silly, but imagine the weight of that guilt. That's some tremendous weight.
Yeah.
No, that's bad. That's bad. So remember, if they catch Sirius this time, they're not going to send him back to Azkaban. They already know he can escape from that prison.
Yeah.
He waited a long time to escape, but he's just waiting for his time, waiting for the perfect time. He's getting the Dementor's kiss, and this is a fate worse than death, where they consume your soul. So Harry had to fix this. He writes that letter and leaves for the owlery.
Yes.
Leaves for the mailroom. The mailroom was located on the west tower and was a circular stone room, rather cold and drafty, because none of the windows had glass in them. The floor was entirely covered in straw owl droppings, and the regurgitated skeletons of mice and voles. Hundreds upon hundreds of owls of every breed imaginable were nestled in here on their perches that rose right up to the top of the tower, nearly all of them asleep. He found Hedwig, persuaded her to take the letter to Sirius, and she took off. Now remember, Hedwig just got back to being
She
gone
just
for
got
2
back.
weeks. So she's trying to chill. Second of all, we all have this image that this is Hogwarts. This is a magical world. Why is this room so dirty?
I mean, I think, can you really be? I mean, Filch isn't going to go up there and clean it.
I get, yeah, he is the one that cleans everything. But again, wand, Scourgify, there you go, done.
I know.
I mean-
know. Almost put that in a pop quiz, but I didn't. So your 5 pop quizzes today will not cover Scourgify.
You know, Scourgify just dawned on me, like, I think when I was listening to this chapter. 'Cause
Oh,
I kept
yeah.
I'm like, there is a spell to clean things, but I couldn't remember the spell. And then all of a sudden, this chapter came to me. I was like,
Boom.
Scourgify. That's what it
Boom.
is. Yeah.
Boom. So they go to breakfast. He tells Hermione and Ron what he's done, and Hermione was like, "Bro, you lied to Sirius. Why would you do that?" And Harry's like, "Look, I did what I did. I don't regret anything. I can't have Sirius getting caught or getting in trouble because of me." And Ron's like, "Yeah, that makes sense. Hermione, drop it." So this is a really cool chapter because after that happens, a couple of weeks go by, right? A couple of weeks go by, and Harry's, he dreams about bad things happening to Sirius. Every time the morning mail comes, he's looking for it's on his mind constantly, and now he doesn't even have Quidditch practice to be able to take his mind off of it. So
anxiety in the wizarding world.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. So for 2 weeks this happened. Well, then it seems like the fourth years, and they all kind of know it, or they all kind of identify that we're getting a lot more in-class work and a lot of homework being given. That takes us to our first class of this chapter. We're in Defense Against the Dark Arts. Chapter notable number 1, last class, Moody introduced them and taught them about the unforgivable curses. Now in this class, Professor Movie announced that he's going to actually be performing the Imperius Curse on each student. Number 1.
How would you feel about that?
Yo, that's a good question.
It sounds exciting. I'm not
It's
gonna
exciting,
lie.
but there is a bit of fear to it.
Yeah,
right?
I think I'd be down.
Well, at this point, we're in year 4. I don't believe we have any written examples of them having spells performed on them.
Yeah.
Potions.
Well, as we learn later,
Right,
Snape,
potions.
yeah.
Charms, Ron had the giggles, right? So we know that there were some charms. But in Defense Against the Dark Arts, it's really...
like something completely taking over them, yeah.
Yeah. So they, he tells them, look, I want you to know what it feels like, and I want you to be able to know how to fight off this curse. And here's the, kind of the funny part of this. Hermione questions him. He's like, aren't these illegal? Shouldn't you not? Shouldn't you not perform these spells? Like, it was bad. Like, we were pretty traumatized when you did it on the spiders.
Yeah.
Now you want to do it on us. And Moody's response was great. Dumbledore wants you taught what it feels like. If you'd rather learn the hard way, when someone's putting it on you so they can control you completely, fine by me. You're excused. Off you go. As he points a gnarled finger to the door.
So naturally, Hermione,
we all know what Hermione would do.
Yeah, she didn't want to leave the classroom, especially like this is a huge lesson. This is a huge like I said, I would be down for this. Like, yeah, do this on me.
Yeah.
Man, I would have loved to see an instance where it was done on Hermione again. Hermione is involved a lot, but when it comes to like big things happening, nothing really happens to Hermione itself. So I would like to see that kind of like, just imagine in the movies, right? Like, we talked about with the Bogart. We never got to see what her Bogart was, even though we all know what it would be. But it'd be cool to see it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, which is also funny because then in the next book, obviously a lot happens in this book. So then in the next book, to sit in a classroom where the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher says, wands away, textbooks out, and for Hermione to be like, we're not doing the magic.
Yeah. She gets a little braver and more
Yeah.
street smart. Yeah. But this is a curse that you can potentially fight off Voldemort with, because it's the curse that he used to gain so many followers. So
yeah. Well, yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she sat quietly and waited her turn to fight off the Imperius Curse. Here we go. I was waiting.
We, Jeremiah, the readers, are introduced to 3 different students doing different things while under the Imperius Curse in Professor Moody's class this day. Can you name those 3 students, and for bonus points, what they did under the Imperius Curse?
Well, there's obviously Harry, and he was just being told to jump on the desk.
Before Harry. Before
Okay.
Harry. Before Harry.
Why do I focus on the most important things and just negate everything else?
And I only remembered 2 of these.
I think Neville was one of them, right?
Neville's one of them. What did he do? Do you remember?
Wasn't he performing like circus tricks?
Yeah, gymnastics, acrobatics, yes. So circus tricks, that works, yes.
For some reason, I want to say Ernie, but I
No,
no.
we're just focused on Gryffindors. I don't think this was a combined class.
See, I don't think Ron did anything. Hermione didn't do anything. Twins didn't do anything.
When they're not in the same class as the twins.
Yeah, yeah. I can only think of Harry and Neville.
Okay, so Dean Thomas hopped around the room 3 times while singing the national anthem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's singing the national anthem. That's weird.
And Lavender Brown imitated a squirrel.
At least she didn't get turned into one.
Is that the only? That's the only. Okay, that's my only question for the first pop quiz. So you got Neville and the bonus point for the acrobatics.
I thought you were going to say that was your only pop quiz, and I was going to say, man, you are busy, aren't you?
No, you got 5. You got 5 more, or you got 4 more.
So none of the students were able to fight off or defend themselves from the curse. Then it was Harry's turn. So chapter notable number 2, Moody raised his wand, pointed it at Harry, and said, Imperio. Now, I like how J.K. did this. Not just what happens, but she also includes the feeling of the spell, which sounds a little addicting. Like the clarity that she described. So
It almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Because while I was reading this time, let's go through this. Go through what you're going to say, and then we're going to come back to that.
You
topic.
pulled this from the book, right?
This is from the book, yeah.
So the book says, it was the most wonderful feeling. Harry felt a floating sensation as every thought and worry in his head was wiped away gently, leaving nothing but a vague, untraceable happiness. That sounds great.
Sounds wonderful.
He stood there feeling immensely relaxed, only dimly aware of everybody watching him, and then he heard Mad-Eye Moody's voice, echoing in some distant chamber of his empty brain. Jump onto the desk. Jump onto the desk. Harry bent his knees obediently, preparing to spring. Jump onto the desk. Why, though? Another voice had awoken in the back of Harry's brain. Stupid thing to do, really, said the voice. Jump onto the desk. No, I don't think I will, thanks, said the other voice, a little more firmly. No, I don't really want to. Jump now! The next thing Harry felt was considerable pain. He had both jumped and tried to prevent himself from jumping. The result was that he smashed headlong into the desk, knocking it over, and by the feeling of his legs, fractured both of his kneecaps.
So,
The first part of that sounds like a nice, relaxing, addicting feeling, but then the latter half.
Yeah, it's so my thought was, what would so obviously we know the bad uses of the Imperius Curse, but I thought, well, what are some good uses of the Imperius Curse?
Well, also a use of the Imperius Curse where someone's not attempting to fight it off. Do they just get this feeling of joy the whole time they're under it?
Could you go to a therapist? Let's say you go to St. Mungo's. Like, if Neville went to St. Mungo's, right? And he's like, my parents are here. They've been tortured to insanity. I hate Snape. My grandmother's mean to me. My uncle literally threw me off a roof, off a balcony. Like, it's also, and she's like, here, sit there for a second. Imperio. And then he feels all of this, right? And then he feels all of this. and can the therapist go, forgive your uncle?
Yeah, go
No.
forward, having the best life.
Know that your grandmother is trying to raise you to be as strong as your father, and she blames herself for not being there to protect him when. So it's like, how far does that reach? Is it I can make you do something in this moment? Because we don't have any obviously examples of people coming out of the Imperius Curse and being changed individuals. But it's like if Neville were able to be put in that state.
Well, also once the caster dies, the spell is released. So,
yeah,
man,
so,
that's.
I think the spell is only done when you either throw it off, as Moody says, or when the caster stops.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it wears off. I mean, as long as.
But the amount of harm it could do makes it illegal.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that. That's.
Yeah, I just thought about it when I was reading this. I was like, yeah, we talk about how bad it is. But you're like, man, when he describes the mental state that he's in when it's first cast, before he's given a command, it's like, oh, every thought, every worry. Yeah. It's like, oh. And then could the caster be like, oh, Doc, this was terrible. I haven't been able to sleep in months. Imperio, go to sleep.
Yeah, could you?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just,
Yeah, and then could you, as a caster, like, say you came back and you said, this is great, but could they modify it?
I don't know.
Dang.
Yeah.
You know what? We ought to do. We ought to do a scribbler on these three curses.
There you go. Oh, I like it. I'm in.
I think we should, because man, these, like I said, if you listen to chapter 14, it goes so much deeper. Like even if it's not even talked about.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I think we ought to do that.
Okay. So Harry tries to fight back. He's under the Imperius Curse. He tries to fight back. Mad Eye was ecstatic. Look at that, you lot. Potter fought. He fought it, and he damn near beat it. We'll try that again, Potter. And the rest of you, pay attention. Watch his eyes. That's where you see it. Very good, Potter. Very good indeed. They'll have trouble controlling you. Which is still a big, like...
Yeah, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that, because even the way Jim Dale says it, they'll have trouble controlling you. Like,
yeah, it's like, why are you teaching that? Like, you're a Death Eater. Like, why are you teaching that?
Well, okay, so I did have a thought.
Ooh.
The reason why he's teaching Harry how to kick the Imperius Curse is because he wants Harry's, like, unconventional trust. He needs his full trust in Harry.
I think he could have gotten that without teaching the Imperius
Yeah, I mean, he's
Curse.
going overboard, yes.
Yeah.
But what better way to gain somebody's trust than teaching him how to fight off an unforgivable curse? I mean,
you could
especially knowing what Harry's gone through.
Well, yeah, but I think counter curses could have also been like he could have easily stood up there and be like, "Oh, last time the Jellybinder curse, they loved it. Let's do Protego. Let's do, there's so many things that they could have done."
That's the thing in this series. I don't think we are ever taught Protego. I don't remember learning about Protego. I mean, it has to be mentioned for us to know the spell, but I can't remember.
I thought it was mentioned during Occlumency in the next book.
It might be, but even if it is, it's presented as something Harry already knew. So that's our introduction to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Downplays it.
So, would you like a theory? Oh. So this isn't even the pop quiz. The pop quiz is after the theory.
Okay,
the pop quiz is after the theory. Why was Harry able to do so well at his first attempt at fighting the Imperius Curse, right? He's 14 years old, and we know full-grown wizards that have been under the Imperius Curse for months. Right? Why was Harry so good at it?
Well, I'd imagine because Harry feels the most threatened. It's just like when he learned how to cast Patronus Charm. Like, he really wanted to learn it. He felt like he needed to learn it to defend himself against the Dementors.
Maybe.
So, I mean, my thought is just logical. Like, Harry
Sure.
knows he needs to defend himself. He
Yeah,
knows.
that's not a terrible. Yeah. That's not a
He
terrible.
knows he's going to try to, get revenge. So,
Well, Neville could have the same thought. Ron's family has fought, so a lot of them have this knowledge of, we're gonna have to fight this someday. So let's go a little deeper, a little past the logic of their, forecast of the future. So he does the Imperius Curse on Harry. And
I think ever since you took over the Squibs Corner TikTok, your theories have gone up a little bit.
So this is my own theory.
Okay.
Right. This is my own theory.
Nice.
I've thought about this for a long time. And it's very similar to a theory that we shared a couple of chapters ago.
Okay.
So a lot of people read this part where Harry's like, oh, a voice, popped up, in the back of Harry's head. They're like, oh, yeah, it's Harry's subconscious and all that stuff. Harry's subconscious also doesn't know how to fight off an unforgivable curse.
Yeah, that's funny too, because the last chapter we had both mentioned that Harry is he's not a great wizard. Like, nothing about him is great, and then he blocks the Imperius Curse. And I'm like, okay,
he can do the Patronus, which we have heard many times. Even fully grown wizards can't do. So we know, and he's the son of James and Lily, right? So that it's in his DNA. Voldemort would have known how to fight the Imperius Curse.
You would assume, yeah.
Assume, right?
Yeah.
So let's read this then.
This
This is the theory. It was the most wonderful feeling. Harry felt a floating sensation as every thought and worry in his head was wiped gently away, leaving nothing but a vague, untraceable happiness. He stood there feeling immensely relaxed, only dimly aware of everyone watching him, and then he heard Mad-Eye Moody's voice echoing in some distant chamber of his empty brain. Jump onto the desk. Jump onto the desk. Harry bent his knees obediently, preparing to spring. Jump onto the desk. Here, read this. Why, though, another voice had awoken in the back of Harry's brain. Whose voice do you think that was?
I mean, it's read as his.
Who reads it as his? You're the reader.
Well, Jim Dale reads it as his.
Everyone reads that as Harry's voice. But it reads, another voice had awoken in the back of his brain.
It's probably Voldemort.
Voldemort would have known how to fight the Imperius Curse. Because here it is. Harry bent his knees obediently, preparing to spring. Jump onto the desk. Why, though? Another voice had awoken in the back of his brain. Stupid thing to do, really, said the voice. Jump onto the desk. No, I don't think I will, thanks, said the other voice, a little more firmly. No, I really don't want to. That doesn't sound like how Harry would say things.
Yeah.
So my theory is, just like Professor Trelawney was like, am I mistaken in saying that you were born in midwinter? I think when Harry, his whole being was put under the Imperius Curse, the Horcrux was like, no, we do not do this. We do not do this at all.
Yeah, there's some crazy magic going on around Harry.
So that's why.
Which there's another question. And my guess would be 0, but throughout the series, how many times do you think Harry's been under the Imperius Curse without his knowledge?
Yeah, I wouldn't, I would say none of that. I don't think the Horcrux can perform magic.
So it's more of the Horcrux fighting
But
it
it
off.
is a part of Voldemort's soul.
Yeah.
Right? Voldemort's soul would have, because this was at the height of Voldemort's power, so Voldemort's soul would have been very familiar and done the Imperius Curse so many, 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 many times.
Yeah.
So Harry just was like, hey, let's put the, because remember, Barty Crouch Jr., at this point, Mad-Eye Moody, he's a very strong wizard. And so for him to put him under the Imperius Curse, and then 14-year-old Harry, who's never done this, is like, oh, I can fight this. How'd you fight this? Another voice in my head basically started fighting for me.
Yeah, that's true too, but I don't know.
Now, is it a big deal? No.
Yeah, Harry's already been through a lot, so he's developing a logical way of thinking.
Sure.
Rather
and it
rapidly.
Could be.
Yeah.
Right, it could be, but I just love my little theory.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of theories and a lot of confusion, a lot of questions around all of this stuff too. So I don't think it's quite things that we ever completely figure out. So it's nice to question it though. But I like that theory. I like it.
Since you played the pop quiz music already, how many times in a row, you get one guess, did Professor Moody put Harry under the Imperius Curse?
You know, my knee-jerk reaction is to say 7, but I'm going to say 5.
It was 4.
4. Okay.
It was 4. So, while leaving Defense Against the Dark Arts, they noted that just the way that Professor Moody talks, right? They were like, you'd think that the way he's talking and teaching, we could be attacked here in Hogwarts at any second now. But that was, they still loved it. They loved the lesson. And then chapter notable number 3, as JK kind of lines up here the next few paragraphs, the fourth years, they've noticed that they had a lot more work to do this term compared to previous terms. So even Professor Moody assigned them homework. Then they go to Professor McGonagall, and then she assigns them a lot of Transfiguration homework. And she tells them, you are now entering the most important phase of your magical education. Your ordinary wizarding levels are drawing closer. And then Dean is like, yo. We don't take that till next year. Like, we don't take that till the end of year 5.
I'm with you, Dean. I'm with you.
Right,
What are we
Dean,
doing? Getting way ahead of ourselves.
And then she's like, yes, you're correct. However, you guys need as much preparation as you can get. And then all of the other professors follow suit.
Yeah. I would be excited to do the Defense Against the Dark Arts homework at this point. I'd be all for doing that.
Yeah, Transfiguration, Defense Against the Dark Arts, and Charms. I would be like all over that. All over those.
You know, I was listening to somebody, because we talk about, owls aren't till the 5th year. You know, we're getting ahead. There's this guy. There's several people on TikTok.
It's
reading
not owls. It's not
OWL.
spew.
There's several people on TikTok, like, recording their journeys of reading Harry Potter for the first time. And I'm actually trying to get one of them on. I did ask him. I said, hey, when you get done with this book, let me know. We'd love to have you on. However, he had mentioned a couple of things that happened in this book, and it's been so long since I read or listened to it, I forgot happened. So me being on that, I need to read the books while we're doing this podcasting. I think I need to do that, because as soon as I heard him talk about it, I went, I forgot all about it. It has to do with McGonagall and Hagrid. And I was like, oh, it's so great too. And it's sad. And I can't believe I forgot all about it. But it's all right here in my head now. I know. I was like, this book, the book is great.
It's a great book.
The book is great. The movie is terrible.
And you're going to make me watch it when we're done with this book. And that's frustrating.
There's good and bads. Most of it's bad. So Harry and Ron were amused when Professor Trelawney gave them top marks for their previous homework, but they were a little disappointed when she asked for them to do it again. But
why were they disappointed?
Well, because they made it all up.
They're like, they ran out of things to make up. They're like, jeez.
But as you and Cal pointed out last chapter, the theory going around that Ron might even be a seer.
Yeah.
Because
could be in his blood.
Well, if you don't realize that and you read this part, you go, oh, now they got to make all this stuff up again. Are they? Are they making it up?
Is he? Yeah, is he?
Yeah. Well, even Harry. Well, I mean, there are parts that don't have, like getting, ran over by a raging hippogriff. That never happens. Right. I mean, they did deal with a hippogriff, so, but yeah. Yeah. So even Professor Binns, which I cannot wait to see him, had them writing weekly essays on the Goblin rebellions of the 18th century, something that Hermione was probably over the moon about.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And might even have already known what to write. Like, that really? You're going to have, okay, I guess. Professor Snape was forcing them to research antidotes because he had hinted that he might be poisoning one of them before Christmas to see if any of their antidotes would work. So basically, I'm going to poison you to make sure you're paying attention.
Neville was like, he's gonna poison me.
Yeah, the big comical gulp.
Yep.
Even Hagrid had increased the schoolwork.
You just skipped over Professor Flitwick like that? Hurtful, bro. Is it because he's so small?
Well, let's circle back around. Yeah, I didn't see him. Professor Flitwick had them reading 3 extra books in preparation for the lesson on summoning charms. Again,
muy importante.
Hermione's probably in her happiest mood right now.
And it's also like, why do they need to read books on that?
Yeah, this is more charms. Charms sounds like more like a hands-on, or it's not called hands-on.
Right.
Yeah.
No, a practical. Yeah,
Practical,
it's a practical. So it's like 3 books. Seriously.
Summoning charms.
Yeah.
Yes. But even Hagrid had increased the schoolwork. The blasted Scroots were growing. But yet nobody knows what they ate. So he wanted them. Here's the thing. He wanted them to come down to his hut on alternative evenings, so every other day, to observe the Scroots and make notes on their behaviors. And I'm thinking it's because Hagrid doesn't know anything about these. So he's getting information from the students.
No. That's yes. He's having them do the dirty work.
Yeah. But Draco refused to participate. Hagrid clapped back, which he could have had a couple clapbacks here.
Yes.
You'll do what you're told, or I'll be taking a leaf out of Professor McGonagall's book.
Whose?
Professor Moody's book. I hear you made a good ferret, Malfoy.
It's so good. It's so good.
Everybody just loves seeing that. But his other clapback could have been something like, oh, yeah, you're going to do what you're told, or else your father will hear about this.
That would have been golden. That would have been golden. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and I hate that, their least favorite class is Care of Magical Creatures now. Because
well, I mean, even Hermione, Ron, and Harry from the get-go, they didn't really care for the class, but when he asked, they're like, oh, yeah, it's so great, Hagrid, you're doing a good job. Yeah.
So, anyway, so they leave Care of Magical Creatures, they leave Hagrid, and they go up to the school, they go in the entrance hall, but it's super crowded, they can't get by. And then they see Ron gets on tippy toes, he's the tallest of the 3, gets on tippy toes, it's like, oh, there's something written up there. There's this newly erected sign. Chapter notable number 4. It read, Triwizard Tournament. The delegations from Beaubatons and Durmstrang will be arriving at 6 o'clock on Friday, the 30th of October. Lessons will end half an hour early. Students will return their bags and books to their dormitories and assemble in front of the castle to greet our guests before the welcoming feast. And they're like, whoa, that's literally only a week away. And then offhand, we hear Ernie Macmillan, who is a Hufflepuff. He remarks, "Oh, I don't know if Cedric's read this. I better go tell him." And they're like, "Is he talking about Cedric Diggory?" And then they kind of assume, like, "Oh, maybe Cedric is thinking about entering the Triwizard Tournament. He wants to be house champion for Hogwarts." And Ron was like, "No, that guy's stupid. He's an idiot." And Hermione's like, "He's actually really smart, and you just hate him because you guys lost to Hufflepuff." So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Cedric Diggory, house champion. This is kind of the first tease we get. Obviously, we've talked, listened to Fred, George, and Lee. They are like, how are we gonna trick? How are we gonna age ourselves? How are we gonna get into enter? But Cedric Diggory is going to do it. And what's cool about this, obviously, just kind of the hustle and bustle of the school year has taken over. Harry's like, okay, I'm not worrying so much about Sirius. And I think when he had the thought of like, okay, well, if Sirius can get back safely without being detected, maybe I really don't need to worry that much. But the appearance of the sign on the wall was really only anybody could talk about over the next week, right? Who's going to try to be the Hogwarts House champion? What is the tournament going to entail? What's it going to involve? And there was also talk like, I wonder what the students from the other schools are going to be like. So it's kind of a pretty exciting week. I think we would all be in the same
for sure
mood. Like, hey, this
anything
awesome.
to take the focus off of the schoolwork is a great excuse to just do whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it even says in the book, like, Harry thought that writing this letter to Sirius would put his mind at ease, but all it did was increase his anxiety.
Yeah.
So, that's...
Somebody put that man under the Imperius Curse. Let his thoughts and worries.
Oh, gee. And he sent off Hedwig again, so maybe he's probably worried about that again now. So even the castle was being prepared for the arrival of the other students. Portraits were being scrubbed, suits of armor were being cleaned, and Filch was being downright overbearing to any students who made any messes. So he's mad at the extra work, but he's great that he gets to be even more mean than usual.
Yeah.
So they went down to breakfast on the morning of the 30th of October. They found that the Great Hall had been decorated overnight. Enormous silk banners hung from the walls, each of them representing a Hogwarts house. Red with a gold lion for Gryffindor, blue with a bronze eagle for Ravenclaw, yellow with a black badger for Hufflepuff, and green with a silver serpent for Slytherin. And have we had anybody from Slytherin be on the podcast yet? I don't think that we have. So if you're a Slytherin listening to this, just keep listening. You don't need to do anything else.
Keep listening. Thanks for being
Behind the teacher's table, the largest banner of all bore the Hogwarts coat of arms: lion, eagle, badger, and snake, united around a large letter H. And that's about the extent of the decorating they did. They cleaned up and put the banners up that are probably always there anyway.
Put the school crest up.
We're such a great school. There's nothing.
Ta-da!
So, before Harry, Ron, and Hermione could be consumed by the excitement of the day, they noticed that Fred and George were sitting by themselves, again, muttering again in hushed voices. I'm going to say it's voices, right?
I've never heard it pronounced that, but sure.
Now you have.
Now we're here.
The more you know. It's a bummer, all right, George was saying gloomily to Fred. But if he won't talk to us in person, we'll have to send him the letter after all, or we'll stuff it into his hand. He can't avoid us forever. Ron asked what they were talking about, but they dismissed him immediately. Harry asked if they had any ideas on the Triwizard Tournament, if they'd given any more thought on trying to enter. They still didn't know how the champions would be chosen, so, at this point it's kind of I don't have any ideas yet.
Yeah, still nobody knows the whole process of going on, of what's going to happen. So I think that in and of itself, the not knowing.
Yeah.
Here we're having this event, and 3 schools and the ministry have been planning this for a long time. What is it? We're not going to tell you. What happens? Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
It's a Triwizard Tournament. Oh, yeah, what is that? We're not going to tell you.
3 wizards. I know that part. What else is happening? So then Hermione, so Ron is like, you know what, Harry? Like, you and I have been through some stuff. I bet we could enter. We'd be able to do something. And George was like, yeah, but you haven't done it in front of a panel of judges. And so we learned.
I don't know how I like that response. I mean, yes, it's going to performance anxiety and all that.
Yeah.
But
I have to do it in front of judges? Last time I was doing it so that I didn't die. But no, you're judges.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good retort. I don't think that works. Weak.
Yeah. Boo.
Boo. Lazy
So-
writing.
Yeah, lazy. So we then learn that, okay, so we're reading this for the first time. Here are some things that we learned. We learned that the champions earn points in their task by performing in front of a panel of judges. Hermione tells them, because they also ask, well, who are the judges? She then says, well, the heads of the participating schools are always on the panel. She knows this because she's read Hogwarts history.
Yeah, because they were like, how do you know this?
Yeah. Then she immediately, and should I do a random? I'm not going to do a random pop quiz because this is a tough question. Why?
Is it because I
Hermione
was
know
drinking
this?
my drink?
No. In Hogwarts history, back in 1792, a cockatrice attacked all three judges when it got out all three heads of the houses, heads of the schools. So anyway, so we do know that all three of the, I mean, we call them the headmasters, at Hogwarts, but the heads of the schools. So
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I know this because I read Hogwarts history. And then she's like, well, maybe we should change the name of Hogwarts, the history, because, it's pretty convenient that the school, that this all the thousands of pages, 1,000 pages, there's no writing about the 100 house elves that are being oppressed and forced into slavery in Hogwarts. So she rants.
And I went, 1,000-page book?
That's a big
That's a
book.
big
I
boy.
mean, it is a textbook, but that's a big. And Hogwarts has been around for
Plenty of
1,000
information to
years,
go.
So there's a lot of history there. So she rants for a few minutes, goes back and forth with Ron and Fred and George, and then chapter notable number 5, George leans over to her and is like, "Listen, have you ever been down in the kitchens, Hermione?"
Whoa.
What?
What in the barnacles was that, if I could take a phrase from SpongeBob?
Oh. Let's do this again because we commit. Listen, have you ever been down in the kitchen, Hermione? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Well, she hadn't. Fred and George had been down there loads of times to get extra food. And they said that the house elves are actually freaking happy down there. They love doing what they do, and they feel like they have the best job in the world, to which Hermione, the natural response, is like, yeah, that's because they're uneducated and they're brainwashed. And she was about to continue her rant, but they were saved by the morning mail.
Man, that ties too much into modern times right now. Because I was about to ask you, if you had a job and you loved
have a
it, thought it
job.
was the best job in the world, which I know you like your job,
Love my job.
would you be upset if somebody came along and said, hey, Andrew, what are you doing? You could be doing great things, but instead you're here.
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
bro,
happens
I am
to me
doing
all
great
the time.
things.
Yeah, well, no, but here's the thing. A lot of medical practitioners that don't know anything about chiropractic, a lot of people that don't know anything about
I
chiropractic,
think it's all hogwash. Yeah.
but they've heard, hearsay and all this stuff. Back in the 70s, 80s, I can't remember, the American Medical Association, they were sued by a couple of chiropractors for basically just spreading lies and propaganda against chiropractic. And the American Medical Association lost, right? They were found guilty of just, concocting all this stuff. And I don't know all the full details. I read it, 12 or 13 years ago. But it's one of those, once you put all that out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
Right? It's out there. So while I've been doing this for 10 years, I've seen thousands of patients, and I've seen people that, can't function on a day-to-day basis, feel great, move great, live better lives. I see people all the time that get better. So for me, they could be like, oh, chiropractor is not real, right? Oh, sure. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Cool.
from what you're saying, from your experience, you're helping
Yeah.
people, and you're actually helping people. So
Yeah.
you can't get much better than that, honestly.
Is what it is. You're not going to please everyone.
No, you're gonna please very little people, if we're honest.
Why do I want to please the little people?
I mean, the little people matter too.
To little people matter the most.
Yes, we can't forget about Flitwick like I did earlier.
You did forget Flitwick, who is maybe my favorite little people.
Yes. So the arrival of Hedwig with Sirius's letter had 100% of Harry, Ron, and Hermione's attention. Of course, especially Harry.
Oh yeah.
Once they knew that Fred and George weren't paying attention to them, Harry read them Sirius's letter. Which, what's the big deal with not having Fred and George over here? Or any of this? I don't. They make it a point to exclude them.
They don't know that Sirius is innocent.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we keep that a secret from them, but
Yeah, I think they would understand.
yeah,
I can't see them being like, well,
yeah, that
where's the
seems
proof? It's all
unreasonable.
hearsay.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, because it's like, do his family, do the Weasleys never ask, Ron, where's your rat?
Right? You never hear about it ever
You went
again.
to school with your rat. Where'd he go?
He probably
Where did
just
he go?
told them that he finally snuffed it, right? So,
Yeah. He wasn't looking so good. He's dead.
So the letter says, nice try. I haven't done Sirius's voice in a long time.
His barking laugh. That's why I always remember Jim Dale. His barking laugh.
Nice try, Harry. I'm back in the country and well hidden. I want you to keep me posted on everything that's been going on in Hogwarts. Don't use Hedwig. Keep changing owls. And don't worry about me. Just watch out for yourself. Don't forget what I said about your scar. Sirius. That wasn't very good. It's been a while. A little rusty on that one.
That was okay.
So Hedwig, poor Hedwig, she's probably been gone for almost 3 weeks at this point. I mean, are we thinking it was the same day that she got sent back out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she got the letter. He got the letter, and then, she wanted a little bit of love and affection, and Harry was too worried about reading the letter, so she was miffed that he wasn't happy to see her, and that's
seems
why
weird. Her going to the owlery.
Well, that's why he had to persuade her at the beginning of this chapter, because she was mad at him because he wasn't like super excited to see her. So it took him a while to like get her awake and do this. And so finally he was like, maybe you are too tired, Hedwig. Maybe I'll just ask Ron if I can use Pigwidgeon. And then then she takes the letter and she goes. Hedwig is she's a fun character. She's a fun character.
I think you had said like, between him sending the letter that second time, a couple weeks have gone by again.
A couple weeks have gone by again, yes.
So, gee, poor thing. But again, we just tossed owls out in storms, so I guess they can handle it. Like I said, Hedwig, she was exhausted. She flew back to the owlery to get some much needed rest. It was hard for the students to pay attention to their next lesson that day because everybody was excited for the arrival of the other schools, which I can now understand why they're like, oh, there's this thing happening, but we're not going to tell you what it is, because then they wouldn't pay attention to anything. At all. Yeah, so I get it. But I'm not sure if that was their intention. I think they're being vague on purpose just to see their reaction. I don't know. It could be a mix of both, but yeah. I mean, they're probably really excited about it, too. It's been, what did we say, 201 years?
I can't remember. That's a good question.
It's been a while. So once the classes were over, the students took their belongings to their dormitories and went back to the entrance hall, where the heads of houses were ordering their students into lines.
Easy pop quiz.
Easy pop, okay. Says you.
And I'm going to add another question to it. I'm going to add another question because I just realized I didn't put it in the script, so I can ask it. What was the last class the Gryffindors had that day?
I would just have to assume, now this is pure guess, but potions.
It was potions.
Okay.
It was potions. The real pop quiz question is, who are the current heads of houses? Quick.
Current heads of houses. So Dumbledore, Karkaroff. Oh no, we're not talking about the schools. Oh, the heads
of houses.
Professor McGonagall is head of Gryffindor. Snape is head of Slytherin. Flitwick is head of Ravenclaw? Oh. Man, in true fashion, Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff escape me. Because they're not talked about a lot. But I'm pretty sure Flitwick is ahead of a house. And then, yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, which house do you think Flitwick is over?
I would say Ravenclaw. I'm going to say Ravenclaw.
Final guess?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Hufflepuff, I just cannot.
Pomona Sprout.
I was.
Your own head
I
of
might have
house.
eventually went there, but
Your own head of house.
she does not get a big enough. She does not get enough attention for being a head of a house.
All true.
She's really, as I'm a Hufflepuff, she's really easy to forget, which is unfortunate.
It all adds up. It all adds up. Oh, no.
So they all went outside to the front of the castle. After waiting for some, Dumbledore calmly remarks, unless I'm very much mistaken, the delegation for Beaubaton approaches. Something large was hurtling through the sky. Chapter notable number 6. It was a gigantic powder blue horse-drawn carriage the size of a large house, soaring towards them, pulled through the air by a dozen winged horses, all Palaminos, and each the size of an elephant, whose hooves were larger than dinner plates.
Hold on. I gotta pull up. What was this pop quiz? Okay. So the hooves of these winged horses are the size of dinner plates. How large are Hagrid's feet?
Dustbin lid size, right? Or no, dolphin size.
baby dolphins. So this one's a little.
I like the description of this too, because they were talking about like seeing something, and then I think when they finally figured out, oh, don't be stupid, it's a house. Like, why would you think that it's a house?
Yeah. One girl's like, it's a dragon, and then it's like, don't be stupid, it's a flying house, and you're like,
makes more sense that it's a dragon.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is a little tougher. This one you definitely had to read. So when the carriage lands, before the doors are opened, Harry sees the school crest for Beaubaton. Do you remember what it is?
No.
It is 2 golden wands crossed, and there are 3 stars shooting out of each wand. You're welcome. You're welcome.
It compared to the Hogwarts house crest, it's
more like a logo.
Yeah.
It's more like a logo than
it
is
sounds
crest.
neat, but there's really not much to it.
Do you want to see something funny? I literally just remembered this. Do you want to see something funny? Okay. So when I was in school, I may have said this before. When I was in chiropractic school, we had to get what was listed as our doctor's bag. So it had to have our stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, we all of these things that we would use in these classes. We'd have to have those. And there were a lot of different clubs, like different chiropractic technique clubs, different, even minority clubs. There's so many different clubs. It's a university, right? And so they would have these pins, for upper cervical or Gonstead, the Asian women club. Like there's so many clubs, and they all had these pins. Well, a couple of my, study buddies, like we didn't have any of this stuff. And so one of the girls over break was going down to Universal Studios. Ooh. And we had joked before we were out that none of us had like a pin for the school crest. So she went down to Universal and she got us the Hogwarts crest.
Nice. Yeah, I can see it. Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's the Gryffindor, right? That's
Yeah, it's the Gryffindor.
Yeah, it's a Gryffindor. So it's not the Hogwarts house crest, but she got us the Gryffindor. So that's been on my doctor's bag for what, 13 years now.
Yeah, I seen a video or no, like memories come up on my Facebook. The last time I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, 2018. So I need to go back. I didn't realize it had been that long, but I knew it had been a while, and I was like, oh man. I really want to convert my toilet into like one of the toilets from Harry Potter with the pull chain and everything. Okay. I want to do that so bad.
Okay. Thought you were going to be like, I really want a bidet.
I know we have a bidet.
Let's see, there you go. It's already
No,
converted.
once you go bidet, you don't go back.
You're halfway there.
It's gross. It's gross.
You're halfway there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about bidets.
Yeah. So this massive carriage that's larger than a large house has landed. Their head mistress makes her way out onto the grounds. Harry had only ever seen one person as large as this woman in his life, and that was Hagrid. Now here's what frustrates me about, like you talk about the movie. He doubted whether there was an inch difference in their heights. Yet somehow, because I remember in the movie, isn't Madame Maxime like quite larger or taller than Hagrid? Anyway, so he doubted whether there was an inch difference in their heights. Yet somehow, maybe simply because he was used to Hagrid, this woman seemed even more unnaturally large. As she stepped into the light flooding from the entrance hall, she was revealed to have a handsome olive-skinned face, large black liquid-looking eyes, and a rather beaky nose. Her hair was drawn back in a shining knob at the base of her neck. She was dressed from head to foot in black satin, and many magnificent opals gleamed at her throat and on her thick fingers. After some welcoming applause, she approached Dumbledore, where they had a brief conversation in which he addressed her as Madame Maxime, and she addressed him as Dumbledore. Another pop quiz.
Another one, you say?
Let's see. Which is this, number 5? Okay. How big are Madame Maxime's feet?
Oh man, it says it?
It does say it.
As big as killer whales. I completely, completely overlooked it.
It says that, right in these paragraphs, the size of a child's sled.
Jeez.
Size of a child's sled. And then I'm going to save this, a two-parter, but I'm going to save this. We're going to do an impromptu 6th pop quiz momentarily. So Harry noticed that there were about a dozen boys and girls from Beaubatons who had exited the carriage. Now, if you just watch the film, you would think that Beaubaton is an all-girls school and Durmstrang is an all-boys school.
True.
Not true. Boys and girls go to both. So they all looked to be in their late teens. They wore robes that looked like they were made of fine silk. So they were all shivering. Some of them had scarves or around their necks and earmuffs, but they were in these really thin robes that looked like.
I don't like silk.
Fine.
We've tried like silk sheets. That's the worst thing ever. They just wind up on the floor 10 times out of 10.
You're sleeping wrong. Okay?
No, I have people.
Get your life together.
So my girlfriend and my son both do not know how to properly roll over in a bed without pulling the sheets along with them. So when I do it, I get yelled at.
Yeah, but yeah. So the boys and girls from Beaubaton, they all looked to be in their late teens, which we find this out to be a lie later, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I need to read ahead again, man. It's
What? Oh, pop quiz. Why is this a lie? What is the one young person that comes with them?
the one young person. Oh yeah. Yeah. What's her name's little sister?
Yeah, Fleur's
yeah.
little sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, all of the boys and girls, it says, look like being in their late teens. They're wearing these fine robes. They're all looking up at Hogwarts with apprehension on their faces. Madame Maxine.
This is not very impressive, is it?
Yeah. So Madame Maxine took.
I wonder what the other schools look like. I would like to go inside the other schools because is Hogwarts not impressive? Because to us,
That's
it
not what
sounds
apprehension means, by the way.
well, still, but I mean, as they're looking around, they probably, this isn't very impressive. I mean, to us, it sounds impressive, like going to a castle lit by torches and stuff.
Assume, yeah.
Or is that like, why are these guys so far behind on everything? What's going on over here?
We have elevators. So, after a little bit, after some conversation, Madame Maxine takes her students inside to warm up, but not before Dumbledore assures her that their care of magical creatures, Professor Hagrid, would be more than capable of taking care of her horses. Man, there's single malt whiskey. What's up, brother?
All right, so they stood there for a few moments in silence. You answered it.
Of course I did. You can't put a pop quiz right there. I was literally just about to say, oh, here's another good, random pop quiz. Come at me, bro. Come at me.
As I was saying, they stood there for a few moments in silence, mostly gazing at the sky for any sign of anything out of the ordinary. Then a loud, oddly eerie noise was drifting towards them from out of the darkness, a muffled rumbling and sucking sound as though an immense vacuum cleaner were moving along a riverbed. What a weird description.
What
first
a
of all.
weird
That's
description.
a weird description.
Yeah.
Lee Jordan yelled and pointed at the lake in chapter notable number 7. From their position at the top of the lawns overlooking the grounds, they had a clear view of the smooth black surface of the water. Except the surface was suddenly not smooth at all. Some disturbance was taking place deeper in the center. Great bubbles were forming on the surface. Waves were now washing over the muddy banks, and then, out of the very, very middle of the lake, a whirlpool appeared, as if a giant plug had just seemed to be pulled. As if a giant plug just had been pulled from the lake's floor. What seemed to be a long black pole began to rise slowly out of the heart of the whirlpool, and then Harry saw the rigging. Slowly, magnificently, the ship rose out of the water, gleaming in the moonlight. It had a strangely skeletal look about it, as though it were a resurrected wreck, and the dim, misty lights shimmering as its portholes looked like ghostly eyes. Finally, with a great sloshing noise, the ship emerged entirely, bobbing on the turbulent water, and began to glide towards the bank. What if Hogwarts were to go to one of these schools? What would their entrance look like? Would they just apparate and it'd be no big deal?
I know exactly. They're gonna pull the old Fox the Phoenix, bam, and then they're gonna arrive in their school, and they're gonna be like, nobody can apparate into our school. And then Kingsley Shacklebolt's gonna walk out from the back and be like, "You've got to admit, he's got style."
You might not like him, but he's got style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shacklebolt's great.
Oh, he's such a good character.
He's great. So as they walked up the lawn towards the castle, Harry noticed their cloaks weren't anything like the Beaubatons students. They were wearing cloaks of some kind of shaggy, matted fur. But the man who was leading them up to the castle was wearing furs of a different sort, sleek and silver like his hair. Again, I want one of these cloaks.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
I want one of these cloaks.
And it's pretty cool because just in talking about the uniforms, what they're wearing, it kind of tells. Obviously, we know that Beaubaton. We've got these boys and girls have to be from the school's got to be southern France, right? So a little warmer there. And then you've got Durmstrang, these surly people, these big, thick, okay, they've got to be somewhere, up north. So it's kind of cool that she doesn't say exactly where they're from, but shows, kind of areas where they could be from. So we meet the headmaster of Durmstrang, Professor Karkaroff, and it says that he had a fruity, unctuous voice. When he stepped into the light pouring from the front doors of the castle, they saw that he was tall and thin, just like Dumbledore, but his white hair was short, and his goatee, finishing in a small curl, did not entirely hide his rather weak chin. His teeth were rather yellow, and Harry noticed that his smile didn't extend to his eyes, which remained cold and shrewd. He and Dumbledore approached each other like they were old friends. Karkaroff looked up towards Hogwarts and said, "How good it is." No, that was French. That was French. "How good it is to be here. How good. Victor, come along. Into the warmth. You don't mind. Dumbledore." Victor had a slight head. Victor has a slight head. Victor has a slight head cold. Karkaroff beckoned forward one of his students. As the boy passed, Harry caught a glimpse of a prominent curved nose and thick black eyebrows. He didn't need the punch on the arm Ron gave him, or the hiss in his ear to recognize that profile. "Harry, it's Krum." And I'm going to do one more pop quiz.
Oh, I had to interrupt the final thoughts to play this?
I'm just telling you, we're going to do one more pop quiz. Okay? We're going to do one more pop quiz.
Oh, copyright.
We don't want... Yuck. We don't learn this in this chapter. Okay? We learn this moving forward. What is Madame Maxime's first name?
Not ringing a bell. It's going to ring a bell once you hear it. What does it start with?
An O?
Well, now I'm going to think Olivia. Because you start saying it. No? Okay.
Olymp.
Oh, yeah.
Olymp.
I would have not guessed that because that's the only time I've ever heard that name is reading these books.
Yes. What is Professor Karkaroff's first name?
Igor?
Yes, it is Igor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Man, like we said, with chapter 14, we're just ramping up, and this chapter was all over the place, but it was still a really good chapter, especially with Harry learning how to kind of block or reverse the Imperius Curse,
throw off the Imperius Curse, which he was able to do successfully. That's why he did it 4 times. He did it 4 times in a row until he was able to successfully throw off the Imperius Curse, which is pretty cool. Yeah, because you start. Sirius's letter, Imperius Curse, Harry's under it. This class work. Now we've got an announcement.
That's crazy. The schoolwork's already ramping up, and then we're ramping up to the Triwizard Tournament also.
Yeah.
What a weird time to ramp up the work.
Ramp up the work.
Ramp up the work.
Ramp up the work. But
great
I love this chapter.
Yeah, it just gets more intense from here.
Now, before we close out of this, Jeremiah, we've got a little bit of Owl Post.
That's right, the Owl Post. I almost forgot it.
How could you? That's right. The owl train is coming. So, a couple episodes ago, we talked about how incredible it was that Hermione said that she dropped divination to do something more sensible, like arithmancy, divination by numbers. And I thought
more complicated way to get to divination.
Yeah.
Divination was too easy and it's complicated.
So we had a comment, shout out to @FunnyNinjaFan. And this is what he says. I like this. I always thought it was similar to thing-mancy, forms of magic in fantasy, pyromancy, fire magic, Cryomancy, ice magic. Chronomancy, time magic. Arithmancy would just be number magic. Any application of numbers in magic. Study on why certain numbers are used in magic rituals. Obviously, JK really harps on the number 7 being a magical number. It could overlap with spell creation, runes, and even potions, like calculating the exact number of each ingredient for a new potion so that the number of each ingredient is as magically powerful or is a magically powerful number, and all ingredients add up to a magically more powerful number. Things like that might make a difference between success and a potion blowing up at the 13th stir. Also, then he goes on, or they, Funny Ninja fan, also with how Trelawney taught, she was right to abandon it. So he is all for Hermione abandoning divination, which we, yes, none of us, I mean, maybe some of us are. I don't think we're
completely sold.
Blaming Hermione for leaving Professor Trelawney's class.
No.
So he goes on. They go on. I'm of the belief that divination was sorely underutilized. Divination is heavily focused on seeing the future, but can also be used to get insight magically. Skying is the location of something, or looking into the past with a pensive is also technically divination. People are just far more interested in learning the future than using a spell to divine the current location of a Horcrux.
Dang.
So insight, never even thought about that.
People are quick to dismiss, like, a fortune as well. So,
yeah, and when they talked about, I don't know why I keep saying he at Funny Ninja Fan, could be anybody. When we look at, in book 6, when we learn about Dumbledore going after the Horcruxes, we see him utilize memories.
yes.
Right? We see him utilize memories, and he uses an extreme amount of logic, right? Going to the orphanage. Where did the orphanage go on field trips? He went to the Gaunts, right? Tom's lineage, right? He worked for Borgin and Burks, right?
So doesn't he like store them away until he needs them at a later time?
He has, and he even saves these memories and lets Harry see some of them. So we do know that he is going into the past to figure this out, but no, we don't see him use arithmancy. We don't see him use any other sort of divination. I don't know how much stock that Dumbledore puts into it. I think, and this is, just a guess, I think the more you rely on logic, the less you would rely on divination. I mean, I think that would that
makes perfect sense.
So, but love the insightful comment. Thank you so much at Funny Ninja Fan. Thank you all. Everybody, for
nice
listening,
to see your
watching,
inside of the Wizarding world.
It's so much fun. Absolutely love it. So,
don't forget, Andrew, we've coined a term, watching. So thank you all for watching us. If you have the option to leave a comment or a rate or interact with us in any way, shape, or form, please do so.
Do it.
Not only
much
does
fun.
it boost the podcast, but it also gives us a way and an excuse to talk to other Potterheads out there, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and speaking of Potterheads, Andrew, we're supposed to share this with a certain kind of person. Who is that?
All of your Potter friends, and if you don't, my father will hear about this.
Oh, yes. And I may have a new pet ferret by the end of the episode as well. So. Join us next time as we recap Chapter 16 of the Goblet of Fire, titled...
The Goblet of Fire.
Okay, the Goblet of Fire.
Chapter 16 is titled The Goblet of Fire.
I was like, he just put the title of the book here.
The title of the book is the title of the chapter.
All right,
So we'll
Andrew,
leave you
go
with
ahead
this.
and sign us out.
What's a bummer? Having a nosy git like you for a brother. Squib's Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.